Round 1 of the OCF main event. This is game 3 between Symbiosis and VindicareX. Both winning as Axis, but Vindicare winning 471 to 66 in his match versus Symbiosis is 335 to 28. So Vindicare would have had faction selection, and he has selected to go OKW once more. Strategy that worked so well in game 2. Perhaps he thinks it's going to pay dividends once more. So Stern Pioneers against Re-Echelons, and Re-Echelons, despite being in the cover of that garrison, quickly losing that engagement. And he's being forced to retreat. Kind of a curious maneuver there with his Re-Echelons. Usually you want your Re-Echelons to just do back capping and just cap everywhere and try and get your riflemen into those engagements. But instead Symbiosis is doing capping with his riflemen and sending his Re-Echelons. Maybe he was trying to get some scouting information, but I don't know. A curious decision anyway. Symbiosis, rethinking his strategy, has straight away locked in infantry company instead of going for airborne. Perhaps he intends to get the priest, as I was talking about in the first game, or make use of time on target artillery, which may be good against those more fortified positions of Vindicare with his forward HQs and his infantry support guns. So Stern Pioneers cross that negative cover and take a lot of damage from those rifles, so they're going to lose this engagement. Also not quite close enough range for their good weapon profile, but actually Fox Unit is coming in on the flank of these rifles. Now they're getting the 2v1. I still think Stern Pioneers are going to be forced to retreat. Re-Echelons are also going to join in. So Stern Pioneers do end up having to retreat, but Fox Units look like they're applying a lot of pressure to these rifles. It looks like they're going to jump into this garrison maybe. Yes indeed. So it's good from Symbiosis getting control of this garrison that I was talking about in the early game. We do see a very early battle group going down here from Vindy, and he's desperately trying to hold the line. I don't think the Symbiosis is going to have sighted that. He does now. He does now have sighted that. These two riflemen are pushing up. If he knocks out this battle group, that could be the game. He's closing in. He wants to knock it down. He needs all of his squads though. He needs this squad as well. He can't bring that squad in though, because too many Volkswagens around, and that's going to be able to set up. So, tense early game there. If he had managed to knock out that truck, that could have been the game right there, but instead it's just going to have to settle with applying a bit of VP pressure and munitions, or attempt to put some munitions pressure on, but being largely unsuccessful. He is going with a more meta build this time. Well, meta in the high level of play. I feel like Lieutenant is a bit harder to play micro wise than the Captain, but can pay dividends. So he's going with that fast M20 that we've been seeing wreak havoc all tournament long, and we'll have to see how he gets on with that. As for Vindicare, perhaps expecting Symbiosis to go with the same strategy again. It hasn't started his Rekenwerfer quite yet. That being said, he does have enough munitions to get a Shrek upgrade if he chooses to do so. And he is on a squad somewhere. This one here. The full health one. So here comes the M20 though, and he's singling out that one with the upgrade going. Forces a quick retreat there. M20's making a play through this gap in the hedge here. Gassing down a few of these folks, forcing a retreat. This one jumps into the garrison to try and stall for time. There are two rifle squads here though. Does have that Rekenwerfer rolling onto the field now, so that M20 is going to have to be careful. There are a few anti-tank options now on the field for Vindicare. M20 putting some damage onto those Fox Grenadiers. Looks like they're stalling for time though. Here comes the Shrek squad, and here comes the Raketenwerfer trying to set up a flank perhaps on this M20. M20's going quite deep into territory here. Got to be careful. Shrek squad jumps into the garrison. What can he see from there? He can't see the M20, but perhaps he can sense where he is in the fog of war due to him running over a few of these ambient things. So Lieutenant and Rifle Squad running straight down the centre. Perhaps he wants to apply some pressure to this cutoff. Stern Pioneer is repairing up that battle group, doesn't want to lose that. We do see an infantry support gun under construction right now. So it looks like Vindicare is going to be trying to execute the same strategy as he did in game 2. And why not? It was highly effective in that match. Stern Pioneer's close range on those rifles. They're very low. They're getting gunned down quick. Oh, and he loses that squad. Too late to react there. Raketenwerfer does get cleared. He's trying to recruit that with these Volks. Maybe, maybe not. M20's applying a lot of pressure. Maybe with this Volk squad here with the Shrek. They're closing close range on the M20. We do see a mortar half-track from Symbiosis. A curious choice. Most players who go with this build go M20 into flak half-track. AA half-track. And I feel like if he had done that, he may have been able to keep this containment going. Probably stop this Raketenwerfer from being recruited and maybe even sealed the game, but instead he went for an indirect fire, which doesn't give you that immediate impact that the AA half-track does. I feel like maybe that's just a bad decision going with that mortar half-track. This thing is a lot better than it used to be though, so maybe he can make it work. Raketenwerfer connects on the M20 at long range. He's got to be careful. Where's that Shrek squad? Okay, that's in the north. Incendiary grenade goes out. Rifleman getting very low. Oh no, super late to react. Oh, they're getting so low though. Oh, those riflemen. All those Fox Grenadiers were reloading. Didn't get that last volley off on that rifle squad, and it will make it back to safety to fight another day. So we see Symbiosis has built a fresh squad of riflemen. They're going to make another attempt at harassment onto Vindicare's fuel. But the infantry support guns are on the field. He's going to start racking up those kills. There we go, straight away. 3 kills. Working its magic there on the centre. M20 receiving some repairs there. Rifleman perhaps anticipating these Fox are going to make a push out. Trying to sit behind cover. Volks instead trying to sit behind heavy cover, so they will eventually win that. No grenades ticked quite yet from Symbiosis. I feel like that should be next on the agenda, but then again I also felt that he probably should have gone with that AA half-track, so maybe he's going to try to get a reasonably fast Sherman out. Wow, look at that ice. Gee, man, that thing has turned so many engagements to OKW's favour all over the map. It's got such good range. That reminds me of the old 120mm, but it's cheaper and it can suppress squads. It's got similar range, but it's cheaper and can suppress squads, so similar one-shot wipe potential, I feel. Oh well, never mind. Symbiosis really having a lot of trouble engaging efficiently. He's actually gone for Captain Tech, and here comes the Captain. So this is an old strategy that I know a lot of RTN members, the clan of the RTN, were quite fond of last patch. Going Lieutenant into Captain into Priest and just skipping over Sherman. Though the Sherman has received some buffs since that, and so it's not sure if this is still the best way. Also the Priest has received some changes. Its AoE profile has been nerfed and it's received a few more rounds, up from 5 to 7.
Ambulance ready for action.
So, I'm not sure if it's still viable. I actually did a similar strategy to this against Barton. Or what I was told was Barton, and was victorious against his OKW infantry support gun spam. So maybe Symbiosis can work with it. I just continuously barraged the HQs with my pack outer and my priest, end up destroying them. That was on Faymanville approach. Slightly better map for it because it was I could get my priest in good positions, nice and close to get some good barrages off. Langreskaya is slightly more spread out, but I suppose he could get his priest all the way up to here relatively safely. Well, safe from everything except for the infantry support guns at the very least. So ISG's once again shutting down that rifle blob, attempting to cap their center VP. Symbiosis really struggling. His own mortar half-track has been doing alright, up to 6 kills, but not really the same impacts to the 10 of the ISG, and also costs Symbiosis a bit of fuel. M20 sitting here trying to put a lot of damage onto these two squads. He needs to get his rear echelons into that capture circle. He needs to prioritize not losing his cutoff time and time again. Captain's getting in deep though, getting behind enemy lines, going for this ISG. But right on cue, here comes a Lux. He may take us a few Zook shots though. Quickly starts working on that captain. That captain's getting quite low. Still on 4 men, but he's desperate to decrew that ISG. Does so, and it's got treacherous retreat though. Luke's having to get around that partially constructed sandbag may allow this squad to retreat. Needs to get this rifle squad into its retreat path to threaten it with the AT grenades. Does not do so, but Vindicare decides to disengage anyway, perhaps fearing an M20 mine in this vicinity, which is a possibility, but an unrealized possibility, because once again Symbiosis is floating up a hell of a lot of munitions. Does have more than enough to go with these LMGs, but perhaps LMGs aren't the best choice against infantry support gun spam. You have to be stationary for them to fire, and that leaves you very vulnerable to the infantry support gun sitting still for any extended period of time. Rifleman once again making a play for the center VP. I feel like bringing in 2 rifle squads is just a recipe for disaster, because it just means the ISG, even if it scatters, it's gonna hit one of your squads. It's just gonna happen. So I feel like that's a misplay from Symbiosis to continuously push 2 rifle squads in at a time into that VP. Maybe if you sent one in and then stood one back here, that would be a better option. Rekenworth gets up close and personal with the M20 and the mortar half-track. M20 pops smoke to try and cover its retreat. Here comes the captain. M1 gets a shell off on the or gets 2 shells off in fact. Unfortunately he's not vet 1, cannot use take aim to try to finish the job on that Luke's, and that will pull back for some repairs. Do see the Shreya HQ has been placed once again, in fact in the pretty much the exact same spot for Vindicare, covering that VP and pretty much this whole area. Oh my god, no way! Can the infantry support gun shoot it from all the way over there? That is just absurd. Oh, what's that? Rekenworth gets cleared there in the centre by these 2 advancing rifles. So the ISG is probably going to switch targets to them though. Luckily they are slightly more spread out this time. Incendiary grenade thrown on that, but not quite enough to clear it out. Riflemen going deep. They want to knock out this ISG. They've had enough. They know what happened last game. They just had enough of that. But can retreat into the arc of fire of that Sure HQ, and Rifleman, well aware of that, decided not to advance any further. Doesn't want to take any flak. Instead they're going to pull back for some capping on that center VP. See, the VPs are pretty much dead even at this point, but okay, do we seem to be better in the late game, so it's to Vindicare's advantage. Symbiosis has floated up a lot of fuel. I imagine he's trying to float up now for the priest. And that's a squad of ogres for Vindicare. Seems like those ogres. Doesn't have enough munitions though. He's upgraded all his squads with Shreks, so he can't get that LMG. Oh, and he takes a nasty shell there from this mortar half-track. This thing, I mean, I said I thought it was a bad idea. I stand by that. I think the AA half-track would have been the better choice, but it's continuing to rack up the kills. It's performing pretty well this game. As I was saying, it has received a few buffs, it seems like recently. It seems to be performing a lot better than it used to. So the stolen AT gun's sitting out here, perhaps expecting some Luke's harassment, but Luke's is on the other side of the map, which the M20 is about to find out. Gets a bit of autocannon fire there. Rear echelon's doing some capping. That's a good idea. Send your REs in to do the capping. Let them soak up the ISG fire. Much cheaper to reinforce. Oh, time on target going in on this HQ. I'm not sure if Vindicare's noticed this. Okay. The smoke on my stream was over here, but obviously it was targeted over here. So that does happen. It's a bit of a bug. I saw that on Dusty's stream yesterday. Mortar half-track's gonna go down to this Luke's. That's a shame. Where's the M1? The Kenworth is on the scene. Looks like it got shot off. M1's actually over here, so perhaps the opportunity gone begging there to knock out that Luke's. Symbiosis has floated up enough manpower now though to call in the priest, and here it comes. So perhaps he will be able to apply enough pressure with that priest to maybe try and knock out some of these HQs. Probably needs 2 priests, honestly. But we'll have to see how he gets on. And he's getting it nice and close. Wants to reduce that scatter. Try to go for maximum effect. Still, Vindicare does have just about enough fuel to get a Panzer IV. So perhaps he will do that to try and counter the forward priest, or perhaps he'll just go for a Panther. That's probably the safer option, honestly. So priest barrage coming in, but little does he know that this isn't actually the forward retreat point at the moment. Oh no, he's in fact just using it to fire on the ISG. Engagement going on here. Rifles for his Volks, and goes a grenade, forcing that retreat. Rear echelons on the outside. It's going to be slow engagement. Whoa, he does! The priest does manage to clear the ISG. Still, that's on pretty high health, so it's not like he's going to destroy it anytime soon. He can easily just be recruited for the cost of a few Fox Trinity models. Luke's now operating on the flank. Just be careful though, he's getting close for AT. No AT grenade from those riflemen. I feel like that's a mistake. There was an M1 pretty close by. M1 gets a shot off. Luke's does manage to get around behind it though. Where is that Rekenwith? Rekenwith is over here. Needs to be brought over. M20 trying to draw fire. M1 set up here. Rekenwith is going in backwards though. He's turning around now. M1's taking a lot of damage. Rekenwith, oh, he connects but still on low health. If that had taken that AT grenade, that would be dead right now. But he's going to get away to safety, having cleared that M1. Obviously, if he had taken the AT grenade, he probably wouldn't have been doing all these risky maneuvers, but still. So, Priest has cooled down once more, so he should be readying himself for another barrage on that. Interesting to see, he's not using that decrew trick. If you jump out of your Priest whilst the barrage is cooling down, you can decrease the size of your army and reduce your manpower tax. But that's not what we're seeing from Symbiosis. Doing that does increase your micro requirements a little bit though, so maybe he's trying to save his microing, and we do see the MG34 dying in the garrison there. He just decided to let it die in there, otherwise if he tried to decrew it and retreat, he certainly would have lost it to that M20 on retreat, and perhaps it would have fallen into the US forces' hands, so he didn't want to risk that happening. Decides to just let it die. And down goes the fresh Schlepper, SWS half-track. What is this Priest up to? It looks like the Priest is setting up to fire in this area, and actually there are a few S-mines down here. So that means fortifications once more from Vindicare allows those Fox Grenadiers to plant the minefields and bunkers. And we do see a lot more players using those S-mines these days and just making those small little patches on them on retreat paths, and just they're very effective for wiping squads. I know a lot of people complain about the Soviet mines wiping squads, but in a similar vein, S-mines also wipe squads, especially if you're not watching them. If you just if you set your troops to just run in that area, like with a shift command and not do some capping, they can often wipe squads before you have time to react, despite having those signposts revealing their position. So Oversaw done clear out the M1 with a bit of infantry sport gun fire assistance. We see the Priest barraging. Try and target that ISG again. Not having much success. It looks like it's repositioned to safety. M20 is taking some Shrek fire, pulling back to safety. This is not on prioritized vehicles. Oh, incendiary grenade ripping through that lieutenant's health. Does get out to safety. No, he's going to retreat back through it. Taking an extra model loss there. Probably could have vaulted that fence and then retreated, but oh well. S-mine field tearing through that captain, and that's going to force a full retreat here. With that Luke's doing a bit of counter harassment. So Symbiosis now has quite a lot of fuel in the bank. Has gone for the major. Maybe thinking Sherman next, but Vindicare in a similar vein is bringing out a Panther very shortly. M20 is still alive, which is very impressive, but has not planted any mines, which is not so impressive. Those M6 anti-tank mines are so strong, guaranteed immobilize on any vehicles. Best AT mine in the game, combined with the Regal mine, which is a doctrinal feature on a few austere commanders. Oh, grenade there, almost wipes that Stern Pioneer squad. They're going to get away on extremely low. Luke's here poking his head out, trying to dodge AT gunfire. They're two AT guns. No, in fact they're not on prioritized vehicles, either of them, so they're firing at troops instead of the tanks. Not having much success, as you would expect. Priest continues to pump away, trying to find that ISG. Not having much luck though in these last couple of barrages. This is perhaps where firing at the HQs would be slightly more effective. ISG's feeling very bold, coming up here onto the front lines. Going to make it very accurate, but very vulnerable to being wiped. Action going on everywhere. Here comes the Panther. That's got the Pintle mount upgrade. M1 still not on prioritized vehicles, just shooting at infantry squads, just hit willy-nilly. Similar situation for this Rekenwerfer. Has actually managed to get a kill, it looks like. So, you know, I suppose if it shoots enough, it will eventually get a kill. Rekenwerfer looks like it's going to be cleared, perhaps forgotten there by Vindicare. Luke's just waiting for its opportunity to perhaps flank this Rekenwerfer. Symbiosis is bleeding so much from all his rifle squads and his infantry. Fish barrage coming in once more. Where's that going? Once again, try and target this infantry support gun. And not having much luck. That one did a little bit of damage. He wants to keep that clear of vet at the very least. Once that thing starts to vet up, it gets so... It gets that, oh, there we go, that's a good hit. So I suppose that is one thing to Symbiosis' credit. This priest is managing to keep that infantry support gun play to a minimum at the very least. Here comes Luke's shredding the lieutenant. Doesn't have the AT grenade, so it's got to retreat immediately. Two riflemen once again making push down the centre, but now there's no ISG. He's clear for it. He's clear for launch. He's clear for liftoff. He's coming through. Oh no! N20 stopped here for a second, and Panther's roaring up in pursuit. Oh, when he gets abandoned, no, there he goes, out of control. Gets finished off by the pintle mount. And all these bazooka shots failing to penetrate this Panther. Riflemen are engaging pretty well here in the centre, but Vindicare is keeping a squad in there, trying to hold on to that VP. See, VPs are slightly in Symbiosis' favour at this point. This US Forces build seems to be working out for him a lot better than in Game 1. The priest is effectively shutting down that infantry support gun play. It's nice to see. He's now investing in a Jackson to try and counter that Panther. Probably needs two Jacksons, but he does have a lot of AT guns though. So perhaps the combination of those two AT guns and the Jackson will be enough. He's got to be careful though, there are a lot of Shreks on the field. And also that one Rekenwerfer, which hadn't had much to do all game. He's actually been using that for capping more than anything. Also keeping that M20 honest. Did that M20 drop its bazooka? No. So Luke's continuing to shut down all of Symbiosis' harassment attempts down this flank. He's also got these S-mines making things very tricky. Needs to get those get these sweepers on this squad. Oh, ISG has been recruited. Raining down these rifles here in the centre. Whoa! Look at that grenade! That was a Vet 5 squad with a Shrek. 4-man squad. Down it goes. Priest once again trying to rain down on the ISG, but quickly repositions this time. Vindicare being slightly more aware of that. In fact, bringing it in to do some capping here in the centre. Very bold play. Going to be careful. Here come the riflemen, and at this range it is actually vulnerable to being stolen by these rear echelons. Whoa, Jackson's shot actually connects with the gun itself, putting the gun on like a sliver of health. But it looks like it's going to back away to safety, and perhaps now Vindicare can get some repairs on it. Riflemen and rear echelons force that Ober squad away. They're up to Vet 3 though, they're doing pretty well. I wonder how many kills they've got. Maybe I can check that once they get back to base. Looks like the Jackson's going to get flanked by this Panther here. There's the M1 though, nicely positioned here on the Jackson's flank. And they trade shells. This Panther's getting really low. Jackson should probably continue the chase, but he decides to disengage. Perhaps more focused here on this engagement in the centre. Rekenwerfer putting a lot of pressure on that. Luke's it's very low. Rekenwerfer, oh, gets cleared there. Is in the area of that Shure HQ, but he may be able to steal it before he can get a shot off and suppress that squad. Yes. Is that Rekenwerfer going to be cleared? No. Miracle ISG and Shrek. That Shrek hit, that miracle Shrek hit clears the Rekenwiffer, and that's going to stay in Vindicare's position, or perhaps. In comes the time on target, but that takes so long before it comes down. That's not going to hit anything, and that's pretty much the last of Symbiosis' munitions reserve expended right there. Ober's up to 14 kills. Retreat though, they don't want to take a nade to the face. In comes the priest, barraging again. This time he's targeting the HQs. And he's actually doing some decent damage to them. And these Stern Pioneers have certainly got their work cut out for them in terms of repairs. Plenty of things to repair now. These two HQs. Do you repair that infantry sport gun? No, that's still very low. In fact, if that gets hit by another pre-shell, may actually get the gun destroyed on that. So they're going to have to work overtime. They do have that his removal package though, so that, or support package actually, that's what it's called on the Stern Pioneer. So they will be repairing at extra quick speed combined with their repair speed bonus. I think they'll get that at Vet 3. Yep, Vet 3. Jackson applying a lot of pressure to this Panther. He should have sight of it here, but he's switched targets. He's instead targeting the mechanized regiment. Rekenwif is trying to advance. These Jacksons are very fragile. Mechanized regiment getting blasted on by this M1 as well. M1 still not on prioritized vehicles. And it looks like this push is going to run out of steam here. Oversaw down, doing a lot of damage to those rifles, forcing them to retreat.
A capture point is under attack.
Jackson's pulled back for some repairs. Where's that priest coming in? Looks like priest is going to try finish the job on the mechanized regiment. First shell is well off target though. Oh, second shell actually hits, does a sprint here of damage to the Panther. Okay, that priest at this range is a very large scatter. Over here in the center, take a grenade, throw a grenade, oh, frangible grenade, and return ISG shell. Forces that lieutenant to retreat. Jackson has completed repairs. We got the two AT guns sitting up here in position. Looks like the Luke's is going to maybe come in for a flank. Maybe just sit here, shut down. Oh yes, he's activated cautious movement now. And this thing, even with cautious movement on, because of all the speed buffs it's got from reaching Vet 4, is actually very, very quick. So he's actually doing some cheeky maneuvers there with that. And then comes trying to catch the squad on retreat, getting behind this Rekenwiffer, may clear it. And I believe once it receives Vet 5, it actually can suppress squads. So that's something for Vindicare to look forward to. Seems like Symbiosis is kind of a bit scattered at the moment. He's having to deal with threats from all angles, and he's having trouble, of course, not having upgraded his rifles with any weapons. They're having a bit of trouble with all this Vet 5 infantry, or Vet 4 and Vet 5 infantry from some Vindicare. Looks like the priest is once more targeting the ISG, and there he does. He does clear it again, and that is very low. Could easily get destroyed. So it's a Sherman for Symbiosis, and that may go down here. Panther's on the prowl. There's the Jackson here, and the Rekenwiffer protecting it. And the Rekenwiffer bounces a shell. No, it looks like that will live to fight another day somehow. It's so low. Just needs one more stiff breeze and they'll get destroyed. Vindicare continues to attempt to put pressure on Symbiosis is cut off. Unsuccessful though this time. Riflemen do get there in the nick of time, and Obers, that's what Obers get a vet for though. Suppressing these rifles here. I believe at Vet 5 they gain the perma sprint, so those obers just getting extra lethal. MG34 here covering the center VP, and now those rifles are bleeding so much here. They're taking so much damage from all angles. Lukes is just ripping them to shreds. So much bleed. Jackson gets a hit off on the Lukes.
Light vehicle just got destroyed.
What was the light vehicle?
Send your orders.
What happened to the... Sherman's still alive.
Capture complete.
I swear I heard light vehicle destroyed. But I think every light vehicle is still alive. The M20 died a long time ago. So the priest barraging the mechanized regiment, but because he is, once again, he's so far back, the scatter is so wide, it's just so inaccurate. Oh, but the inaccuracy actually working to his favour this time. It's like he cleared that Kenworth, and that will get finished up by the M1. Jackson moving forwards once more. M1 is at Vet 1, should probably consider using take aim. In fact, he can't because his munitions are so low right now. He's been using all that munitions. Well, he used 2 of these, which were largely ineffective. He's been throwing a lot of grenades as well. Combine that with his continuous cutoff pressure, and Symbiosis is really hurting for munis right now. And really, honestly, these M1s, whilst they're vetting up, or these AT guns, they're also giving free vet to this Panther. Comes up, takes a couple hits, reverses back here, gets repaired, rinse and repeat. That Panther's vetting up nicely, and now this Jackson's in a lot of trouble. It's going to go down here. Yep, there it goes. Out of control. Panther gets away to safety. Imagine if there was the M1 mine around, M20 mines around here. I don't think the Stern Pioneers have been over here for a very long time. That could have been a dead Panther in return. But instead the Panther will skate away to safety, and that was a really crushing blow for Symbiosis. He's been bleeding so much from all these riflemen, he just doesn't have enough manpower to make another Jackson right now. Keeps just throwing his riflemen into this meat grinder down the center. Just isn't working. He's got tunnel vision for the center VP. He needs to rethink his strategy. He's got plenty of VPs left in the bank. He's got plenty of time. He's got the priest. He could just afford to sit back and regather his thoughts. But I know this feeling as US forces all too well. Oh, that's what went down. The ambulance went down. Okay. Said light vehicle destroyed, and I was wondering what it was. Was the ambulance in the base? I don't know how that went down. Maybe it's the Lukes. Or the Panther. Completely missed that, and I humbly apologize.
Armor here.
But yeah, I know what it feels like as US forces to be in this situation. You know, you get off to a decent start, and then you kind of run out of steam. It costs so much to reinforce your riflemen, and kind of get tunnel vision. You think you can bleed them with those last few VPs, but you just can't, and very depressing feeling, that's for sure. I can imagine that's exactly what Symbiosis is feeling right now. Performing significantly better though this game. I feel like the priest was a good choice, but I feel like his tactics of throwing squads time and time again into this meat grinder in the center just really hasn't worked out. Also, needed to be a lot more diligent with his AT guns, and need to get some mines down with his M20. Stop using the Time on Target artillery, which seemed to do almost nothing for him. So, Priest gets up to Vet 1, and it gets creeping barrage, but that costs munitions, so not really that good. Well, not really that good for Symbiosis. I don't think he's going to be using that. Oh, Shrek Squad goes down. Panther comes up. Wanting to get a hit off on the Priest. Gets one hit off. M1's there to protect it. Somewhat. And down it goes. And that's probably going to be a game now with no Priest. I think Symbiosis' hopes of winning this game have just gone up in smokes. As I was saying before, that is Vet 5 now, and that's what's suppressing those squads. Well, combined with that MG34, of course, but Vet 5, suppress infantry, that's very, very rare. See the Vet 5 Lukes, and Vindicare is just heartily outplays Symbiosis in this match, I feel. Symbiosis was largely ineffective with his AT guns, wasn't using the Sabot rounds, so they were often plinking off the Panther. Didn't put down any mines. That is one feature of this. You can put down mines with these riflemen now. Definitely should have done that. And if he managed to snare one of these vehicles, got them with the AT guns, this could have been a very different game. With that priest continuously thundering away at stuff. In fact, I'm sure it would have been a different game. Oh, even though I'm not online, I'm getting a follow. Thanks for the follow. This is a offline cast. Anyway, Vindicare ends up taking the series 2-1, so he will advance, and Symbiosis will be knocked down to the losers bracket.